Well, an exciting interview today talking to David Greene, going to be running in the Sportsman Sprint Car Division here at Skagit Speedway for Rookie of the Year. A Deming Speedway racer, now moving to Skagit Speedway. Also going to do some racing at Deming Speedway. We're going to get kind of in everything. But first, David, how are you today? How's your 2026 offseason been?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's good to have you here. Thanks for joining us. So we're excited to have you this year in a sports sprint car here at Skagit Speedway. You ran a sportsman sprint car for a little bit. You ran a 360 limited at Grace Harbor, two races last year. How did that go?
First race went pretty good. I think we ended up third or fourth, just trying to figure out the car. And then in our second race, we won. So it was pretty good and fun.
There you go. So, what did you learn? I mean, that's two really big experiences, a third, and then, of course, picking up the win in your second time out. How big was that for your learning experience to go down there and just get those laps before coming into this year? Of course, it was last year, but to just get a couple.
It felt good. I learned a lot. There's so much more different than micro. Just the size and then the power difference. I mean, the micro, it feels like the power is more like there, but the sprint car, I don't know, just different and way different learning curve, and it's way better.
A little bit more speed, right? I feel like you're going fast, a little bit more fun. Um, can you kind of elaborate on a little bit more of those differences between a micro and a sprint car? Like, what were you feeling that first time you got in the car?
Uh, the like thing that I got had to get used to the most was like the car winging over and getting it to go, and then on the way bigger track, the timing is so much more different, and especially the turning. The sprint car takes a while to turn going into the corner, and the micro it kind of when you turn, it's there, and you kind of have to like time it in the sprint car.
Yeah, it's bigger, it's faster. That timing is definitely different and way different, than running a track like Deming Speedway, somewhere where you had a lot
Yeah.
of laps. What's it been like now building your program? Because you have a really good micro program, but transitioning and kind of going big car racing.
Um, our micro program has been pretty good ever since restricted, but in the sprint car, we kind of started off with a rough start. We got a car. We went to go race the first time. It was 2 years ago now at Grace Harbor, and the motor blew up on us the first time going out. And then we kind of just took the whole year off, focusing on micros at Deming. And then we got our car. We got a new motor, and we went out and yeah. And then for this year, our program actually has got way better, and almost a brand new car, new motor, new everything, and our program has really like grown since the first time we went out in the sprint car.
Oh, that's really exciting. What's it been like kind of putting this car together? Because it's, bigger than and different than your micro. Has it been a learning curve trying to put this car together versus, putting together a sprint, micro sprint?
Yeah, it's definitely way different. Everything's bigger, first of all. There's so many more different things with the direct drive. Uh, it just a whole different learning curve, and we've also been getting a lot of help from Brian Serrano and getting the car together. And yeah, it's way different than a micro, and I like it better because it's just more simple.
More simple in what way do you feel?
There's a lot less like things that like could go wrong. I feel like just everything being in like I don't really know how to explain it, but uh, the micro has so many more like little electronic things, and then the sprint car just has pretty much one or two things that are really electrical, and it's just more simple.
And now we're excited to see you here at Skagit Speedway make your Skagit Speedway debut. How excited are you to finally turn some laps on Skagit Speedway this year in 2026?
I'm very excited. I've watched a lot on like online in this gadget. We just never really had the time to make it up. We've been racing micros a lot, but I'm excited. New track, and I mean, whenever I get to go to a new track and try something else new, try something new.
How do you expect it to race for your first time out? You said you've been watching videos, you've been kind of doing your homework. What are your expectations?
Uh, I feel like, well, from like uh, Grace Harbor, I feel like it's gonna be more like the corners are gonna be coming up quicker, and the dirt definitely looks way better than Elma. Elma's super rocky, and then uh, I'm kind of used like I'm kind of used to the clay that's at Skagit because it goes down to Deming, and I like Deming's clay, and so yeah.
Now we'll talk about Deming for a minute because you've mentioned you've ran restricted, you run opens there. What do you think you've learned at Deming Speedway that will be beneficial to running here at Skagit?
Something that I've learned from Deming, and I'll go to Skagit. I feel like Deming, there's a lot of cars, and just knowing how to maneuver through cars and lap traffic and stuff like that. Skagit is obviously going to have way more cars than Grace Harbor or Sunset or anything like that, other things I've raced. And so, like, just knowing how to, like, maneuver through cars and just be better.
Now you had mentioned Brian Serrano. He's part of a sporties team here at Skagit Speedway, but who are the people that you've leaned on for advice to build this sport and get your program to where it is?
Mainly my parents. My dad. I mean, he didn't grow up racing. It was my mom's side that like they all raced, and my dad's all learned a lot since we started racing, and mostly my dad and my papa. My papa, he used to work on a midget team back in the day with my great grandpa, uh, who I'm pretty sure was raced at Skagit Speedway, Ed Chefchick. Uh, but a lot of them, and they helped me out a lot and get me where I am now.
So who would you then credit for helping you get into racing? Would you say your mom, or was it kind of your dad who wanted to help get the foot for you, even though your mom had more of the background in it?
My grandpa, so my mom's dad, uh, he's the one that got me into racing because he lives down in Elma, and so he took me down to the races there, and then he was like, "Do you want to sit in a quarter midget?" Because they had quarter midgets sitting there. I was like, "Nah, I don't want to." And then, but I liked racing, and I don't know, I was just kind of shy when I was little, and they we got into Little Wheels, a track up here in Graham, and then I did like the ride days and everything, and I really liked it. And so he's the one that got me into racing. And then my great grandpa, who also like supported and stuff because he used to race.
Well, there's been a lot of drivers at Skagit Speedway that have come from Little Wheels and Graham, so it's a good place to start and then get your experience, of course, at Deming Speedway. Can you give us kind of a teaser or a look at what your 2026 schedule will look like?
It's gonna be we're doing a little bit of Deming. We're running Clay Cup. Uh, Running Clay Cup for sure, and all the wingless races, and then for we're doing the whole Skagit season running for points, and then Elma, we're going to be sticking a lot of Elma in there, and we might go down and hit a few Oregon races.
Well, David, as we wrap up, I want to wrap up this. What are your expectations for this year? Where do you want to be? What will be a successful 2026 race season in your mind?
A successful 2026 race season, learning a lot at Skagit, which I hope to do. Getting lots of laps at Skagit and learning more, and getting a few wins here and there, and hopefully get a top five points for Skagit. And then Deming, I would like to break into like the top 10 for Clay Cup. Uh, I've I've done 11th, and I think it was this year 14th in Open, and I want to get into the top 10.
Well, those are great goals. David, we look forward to seeing your Skagit Speedway debut this year in the sports sprint car class. We wish you the best of luck. Thanks for doing this interview. We appreciate it.
Thank you.